Hello, 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 everybody. Come on in the house. It's time to get this show on the road. Welcome to Love Coach Sessions Live. I'm your host, KTJ, and this is our show, Love Coach Sessions Live. We talk about dating, we talk about relationships, we talk about love, and we talk about situations that kind of can get cloudy, but we're going to hopefully add some clarity to it. All right. You guys, please feel free to jump into the chat room and add your comments. I'd love to hear what you have to say on this topic today. And if you catch this on the replay, please hit the like button as well as leave your comment in the box below. All right. So we got a good topic today. This topic came to me as somebody tagged me on it in the Facebook conversation, and here is the situation. Situation is a couple who is, moving towards marriage. They are in a committed relationship. They're together, moving towards marriage. The young lady was invited to a couples retreat, a couples getaway, and there were a couple of couples going away on a retreat. All right. She told her man about it ahead of time. And he said, you know what? Okay, sounds good. Right? Sounds good. Sounds like a winner. Right? He agreed. But as the time got closer, she realized that he didn't talk about it that much. Kind of quiet about it. Now, he said he wanted to go, but he's kind of quiet about it. And now it's almost time to put the money up for it. And she says, well, do you want to go? Well, I mean, what's up? And he says, I don't want to go. And so she's upset that he didn't want to go. She's mad. She's like, yo, you told me that we could go, and now you backing out? What's up with that? And he's like, well, look, I tell you what, my finances aren't what I thought they were going to be. And Christmas is around the corner. And I'd rather save up money and give you a nice gift for Christmas rather than to go on this retreat with these couples that people I don't know. I'd rather just give you a nice gift. So the question was, does he have a right to change his mind, or does this speak about his character, speak about his depth of love for the woman? Does this speak badly upon him because he said he didn't want to go on the trip? Now, I thought that this was a good conversation to have, you guys, because there's a lot of these little things that happen, and something like this can break a couple up, right? Because there's a couple things that's in line. Now, this woman feels like this guy lied. He told me he was going to do one thing, and then he changed his mind at the last minute. So she thought to herself, you know what? Should I go on this trip? Should I go on the trip anyway? Right? And now, if she goes on the trip, it'll be just her, one single person on the trip with a bunch of couples. Okay? Hey, Stephanie, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm back in the house. Look, so the trip that the couple is going on, these couples are going on a trip. If this woman decides that she's going to go on the trip without her man, now she's on a couples retreat by herself. Although he said he wanted to go initially, then he changed his mind and says he didn't want to go. She says, I still want to go. And the question was, does she have a right to still go on this trip that she told him about ahead of time? She planned for, she thought about, she was excited about. Should she still go on this trip? Would you still go on this trip? Or would you just stay home and, let the man buy you something nice for Christmas with the money that he would have paid for the trip? Now, here's my thought on it. I mean, before I tell you my thought, I guess I want to speak on both the angles. Now, that was the female's angle. From the male's angle, right? One of the ideas I presented was this. Sometimes that guy when he said he wanted to go, when she asked him if he wanted to go ahead of time, he probably was like, cool, I'll no problem, I'll go on this trip, right? But as the trip got closer, his thoughts, his mind started turning, right? Here's what his mind was probably saying. I'm going to spend money on a trip, right? To be with a bunch of people that I don't know. I'm going to be on this trip and I'm kind of trapped there around with these people that I don't know. And since they're all couples, they're going to be asking me questions about our relationship. Questions like, when y'all getting married? Questions like, do you want children? Like, they're going to be all in the mix of our relationship. And I don't really like people being all in my business. So I should spend money, be trapped around these people I don't know, asking me a bunch of questions I don't want to answer. I don't want to go. That's possibly one reason. Now, it could be really that he really can't afford to go, right? If to me, I think it's that first reason. I think he doesn't want to be grilled around these group of couples, okay? Because they're going to ask you all the questions. Oh, so when did y'all meet? Oh, how long y'all been like, they be all in the mix. When y'all getting married? Are y'all having a wedding? Like, it's none of your business. And he didn't want to be asked all those questions. And so that's maybe one of the reasons. So maybe he looked at it, was like, you know what? She is, check this out, guys. Maybe her love language is gifts. Like her love, she loves to receive gifts. And so maybe he's like, you know what? I don't want to go on this trip anyway. She likes gifts. Why don't I save this money and give her that. Give her a nice gift. That's one idea. That's the second idea. I guess another idea is that he just flat out didn't want to go and didn't want to spend the money. But the question is, does that speak about his character? And is this a reason to break up? Now, initially, I would say, no, it's not a reason to break up, right? But then here's how it goes if they end up breaking up. If she looks at that situation and say, you know what? I planned this trip. I plan to go on this trip. I've been looking forward to hang out with my friends. I'm going, right? If she goes on that trip, she'll be there with the couples. She's going to be like a third wheel the whole time. And everybody's going to ask, they're going to still have questions. Because they're couples, right? And couples have conversations, they talk. And the couple's going to be like, where is your man? Boom. Strike one, right? Because now it looks like she ain't got her things together and her man ain't on the same, they not on the same plane. It looks badly upon her to show up by herself. Because if you show up to a couple's getaway by yourself, guess what you are? By yourself. You're not a couple. So red flags are going to go off on that. And if they are her friends, especially y'all know how the women get when y'all get together, she show up without her man, they're going to be like, girl, I don't know about this one. Why would he let you even come on a trip by yourself? I don't think you should. And they would just go in on homeboy, right? By the time she get home from this trip, she gonna be on fire. She gonna be on fire by the time she get back from this trip, and she ain't gonna have nothing good to say to him when he get back. She ain't gonna care about no Christmas gift, Christmas presents. He better throw her a welcome back party with balloons and cake. Or she gonna come back and there is not going to be anything nice said. They probably wouldn't survive another few months because of this situation. So the question is, should he just abandon all those thoughts and just go on the trip, even though he don't want to be there, or should he just stay home? Now let's talk about that. Hey, Stephanie, I see your question. I'm gonna jump to that in a minute. I see you. Look, if he goes on the trip, let's say he goes on the trip. If the man goes on the trip that he didn't want to go on, right? And he brings that I don't want to be here attitude to a couple's happy time, right? That's going to cause the argument. That's going to cause a conflict, right? So, yes, so she gets her way. But what way did she really get? Is she going to be happy that she wants him to come and be happy? Well, sometimes you can't have both. Sometimes I'm going to come, but I ain't going to be happy. Or I could just stay home and be happy. Which one you want? So this could spell the end of the relationship. It could also speak about how they communicate as a couple. Like, what's more important? Should I just go because you asked me to go? Or do I have the right to change my mind about going somewhere and spending money and being around people I don't want to be around? Because trust me, y'all know that saying, a woman reserves the right to do what? Change her mind. Does a man also reserve the right to change his mind? Does a man have a right to change his mind about a situation that he's in? All right, let me jump over here. You see what Stephanie said. Hey, Steph, she said, I wouldn't go, but I would have to see if this is a pattern. Can I depend on him, or is he a flake? Right. She said, I wouldn't break up with him, but it would be noted. Yes. So I agree. I got you. I wouldn't go. I would have it to see if this is a pattern. That is 100%, right? Because this could be a pattern. And if you listen to this, there's a lot of couples that have fallen into this place. One person is an outgoing kind of person, and the other person is an introvert, an extrovert, and an introvert. If she is an extrovert and he's an introvert, that could be a problem, right? Now, a lot of times these relationships, it doesn't necessarily turn into a problem. People have to get to the place that they have an understanding of who the other person is. Do you understand who your mate is? Because if you don't understand who they are, then this stuff will get in your mind. Them worms get in your brain. They always just trying to be funny, blah, blah, blah. Listen, there are some people who they just don't like crowds. There are some people who don't like being around a lot of people. Look, I'd love it. Hey, I'm like, one person's like the life of the party. The more, the merrier. The more people that come, the happier it is. For other people who are introverts, the more people that come, the more uncomfortable they feel. So this scenario could be a telling sign of things to come, about personality, about comfort of who a person is. And like, is this person a flake? Is the person a flake, or are they just an introverted person who likes the couple of just being one-on-one with somebody? Don't like a lot of people. All right. Stephanie said he shouldn't go, and I wouldn't pressure him. I agree. Now, on this post, there were people who saying, like, specifically the person who posted it said, no, he should go. Otherwise, his word ain't worth jack. Otherwise, he is a flake, and I can't depend on him because he changed his mind. I feel like a man shouldn't go if he doesn't want to go. Now, will he have to go to some places? Will he have to go and do some things that he's uncomfortable with sometimes? Yes, brother man, if you don't like the opera, guess what? You might have to still go to the opera. You don't have to love it, but sometimes you're going to have to sacrifice for her. You're going to have to go and sit there and watch them Hallmark movies. Hallmark started Christmas 2 months ago. They started showing the first Christmas movies at the end of August. You know, so you know, you might not like Hallmark movies, right? But I bet you go watching one or two. Even if you always go to the next room, at some point in time, you're gonna be sitting down there watching a Hallmark movie, whether you like it or not. You're gonna watch a chick flick, right? All these things, and guess what? She might not be into football, but when the Super Bowl comes, she probably gonna be sitting right there, passing the dip and hooking up the food or doing something, right? And it's not because she loves football, but it's because it comes with the territory of being a couple. You got to get comfortable doing things that you might not be comfortable with. All right. He shouldn't go. And he should not. Now, you know what? I'm going to give it to the brother for coming up with an idea. Now, somebody might say it's a reason, an excuse, a lie, a sweet lie, right? But he came up with the idea of, hey, you know what? I'll buy you something for Christmas. I'll take that money and I'm gonna give it to you personally. Forget about the trip. Forget about any of that. Because she also stated that, well, if let her go by herself and he just paid for her cost of the trip. That was an option. I think that's a bad option. He said instead, why don't he just pay for her, give her a nice gift at Christmas? This is coming around the corner, and everybody be happy. So I think that a woman should not, in this kind of situation, right? Now, I'm not talking about going out for the day. I'm not talking about going on a shopping trip and the man don't want to go. I'm talking about going on a couples trip, which means y'all going to be away for a couple of days. That means you're not going to be at work. That means he's not going to be, you know, doing his regular thing. He's going to be stuck out here with these people that he doesn't know. I think anybody has the right to change their mind. Now, here's the only caveat in this situation. The only problem I have with it is that he did wait to the last minute to say he didn't want to go. Now, they hadn't to put their money up, but he did wait to the last moment to say he didn't want to go. And really, he probably just did that because he didn't know how to say, I don't know. You know? He just didn't know how to say, I don't want to go, and not have it turn into a fight. Right? It's going to be a conflict either way. He was just trying to delay the inevitable. That it's going to be the conflict that's coming. Conflict was coming. But so he just kind of waited out until she brought it back up again. So the question is, do you know them? The question is, did he lie or just didn't know how to say what it is that he needed to say? Did he lie? Did he not want to go at all in the first place? And he just said, yeah, I'll go. Or did he just not know how to say, I don't want to go and deal with her being upset with him not wanting to go? I'm telling you, these situations happen so quick and so easily. And you'll find yourself like, yo, wait a minute. You know, now we're arguing, now we're breaking up. And it doesn't have to be, because listen, anybody who's been in a long-term relationship understands you're gonna have like 1,000 of these, right? You're gonna have about 1,000 of these. And the point is, do you care about the person? Like, person, not your friends, not even the money, right? Do you care about the person? Is it more important to you to be on this trip with your friends, showing time, being a show off? Oh, I got a man and I'm here with my man. Is that more important than how your mate feels? See, sometimes people are on this surface stuff. Oh, he said no, and he don't keep his word. And no. Listen, sometimes it's not even about that. Sometimes you need to just stop and say, share with me your thoughts. What are you feeling? What are you thinking? Because guess what? That's more important than your trip and your friends. How he was feeling about it, why he was feeling uncomfortable with it. Let's say it was even the money issue, right? He don't want to spend the money. Okay. Right? He has the right to change his mind about the money. For whatever reason, he has a right to state how he feels. Now, y'all could talk about it, come to some agreement, but he still has a right to say no. Guess what? Roles reversed. She's got a right to say no. Matter of fact, I think if roles were reversed, this wouldn't even be a conversation. Why? Because women have the right to change their mind. Women have the executive privilege to change her mind. Well, men do too. I see Stephanie, she said, that says a lot too if someone is afraid to tell their truth. Ooh. Ooh. Yes. That is true. If he waited to the last minute, he didn't want to tell the truth. Now, he didn't want to go through conflict, but all of that speaks. All of that says something. That he can't disappoint her without having to deal with conflict. I can't tell you how I'm feeling about something without it falling into a big thing, and you gonna go anyway. I'm going anyway. Okay. When you come back, you won't have a man. How about that? How about that? I'm going. I don't need no. My daddy is grown. I'm grown. I'm what they say. I'm 7 times 5, and nobody don't need it. I'm 7. I'm what is no? What is 7? Yeah, 7 times 5. People say whatever it is. 4 times 7. Nobody needs to tell me what to do. Okay. Guess what? That says something. And if he don't pay attention to that, that's going to come back. If she goes anyway and say, "Can't nobody tell me nothing," guess what? He should end that relationship. If she goes against his wishes and go on this trip anyway, he needs to say, "Nope, this ain't the one." Because if she can't honor his request in this little way, there's some big ways that she ain't going to honor it either. That she is not ready for the long haul. Now, even for so it goes both ways. Even for him, maybe he needs to change his attitude, change his perspective, and go on the trip. Yes, they're going to ask him a bunch of questions he don't want to answer. Yes, they're going to be all in your grill. Yes, they're going to ask you when y'all getting married, how many kids you want, where y'all want to live, what kind of career do you have? Do you have a drug problem? Like all kinds of things. Did you haven't been to rehab? Because that's my girl, and I want to make sure she going somewhere right. Okay. Where y'all gonna live? What side of town you gonna live in? Oh, okay. Oh, you should get this $400,000 house, not that little 300,000. All of that. He don't want all that. But guess what? He needs to be able to stand in that fire if he's gonna go the distance. So this is the other side of it, you guys. He got to be able to stand up through all of this. Can you take the grilling from her friends? Because if you can't, you ain't ready. Can you take the heat from the financial hit? If you can't, maybe that's an indication that he ain't ready too. So I think, as I said this weekend to somebody, that everything a person says and doesn't say sends a message. We had a show about that. Everything a person says and doesn't say all sends a message. So he might have lied, or he maybe just didn't want to say why. But either way, somebody is going to have to compromise if they are going to build a life together. All right, let's continue this conversation. You guys hit that like button and then hit subscribe on your way out. Please check out the page, the description there below, and join our Patreon community. We love having you there and having more of these conversations. All right. So next time, you guys, peace, love.